Now, Luigi's Mansion was a launch title for the Nintendo GameCube, initially released in 2001. It marks the second time where Luigi is the main character, and Mario plays a supporting role. The game itself was extremely different from any other Super Mario game, because this time it was all ghost-themed. You explore a haunted mansion, searching for Mario, who has been kidnapped by the King Boo. Along the way, you deal with ghosts found in the rooms of the building by capturing them through a special device supplied by Professor Egad. Before the release of this game, there was a lot of speculation about possible features that were coming. And even when the title was released, a lot of people had questions about certain things they saw in the game, making theories about stuff seen in it quite widespread. But today we will be looking at a specific thing people were speculating about before it even hit the store shelves. There are various rumors circulating regarding earlier iterations and cut content from Luigi's Mansion, most of which asserts that the game was meant to be darker and more violent than the final version. Now, of course, the game that released ended up having an E for everyone rating, and no blood, death, or any other graphic things were seen. So in the end, it was all false. However, what were they talking about then? What was their reason for thinking this at the time? Well, there are two recurring components of these rumors: a cut hunter portrait ghost, and the presence of an in-game time limit of an unknown time. The Nintendo Power page that the rumor stemmed from supposedly shows the hunter ghost box in the top right-hand corner. The following is written next to this: when your ghoul-busting mission takes you to the trophy room, proceed with caution. If you meet up with the ghost of a hunter, he'll want to add Luigi to his collection. Now, a common rumor is that the Safari Room originally featured a hunter boss who wanted to have Luigi's head as one of his trophies, and who was cut for being too scary for the target audience of the game.
No evidence of a hunter ghost is present in the game's data, despite the presence of other unused ghosts, and no direct mentions of the supposed boss exist in the previews prior to the game's release in September 2001 in Japan. In the final game, you will only encounter normal ghosts, like blue blazes and garbage can ghosts. Now, the rumor originates from Nintendo Power in October 2001, which included a preview of Luigi's Mansion and a screenshot of an earlier build of the Safari Room with the caption I just read. This was likely an attempt at hyping people up, rather than a serious indication that a Game Hunter-themed ghost was in the game. Now, you could think, but wait! There is an actual Safari Room in the game with animal rugs and hats throughout the room, so it could have been true, right? Well, yes, but this article isn't really proof of that because of one important detail. The article was written after Luigi's Mansion's Japanese release, long after such a character would have been considered and cut from the game. So using this as proof isn't gonna work. However, the possibility is certainly there, and it would have made the game more dark and scary for sure, but there is no proof for it. Another common claim about earlier builds of Luigi's Mansion is that it originally featured a time limit to complete the game, after which the mansion would disappear with Mario still inside. Similar to the other, no evidence of a scrapped time limit exists in the final version's data, and no previews of the game mention or show it. The time limit rumor may be another instance of misinformation, this time relating to showings of Luigi's Mansion at video game conventions. The game's show floor demo at E3 2001 featured an on-screen timer of 1 minute and 30 seconds. After the time elapsed, Professor Egad would appear and boot back the player to the title screen, ending their time with the game. Evidence of this short time limit does exist in the final game. However, it was probably a leftover of sorts. Another driver of this aspect of the rumor may have been the game's US commercial, in which the narrator states, "You only have one night to save Mario."
You've got one night to save Mario from the supernatural.
And when you hear something like this, you would expect that it really meant something in-game. Also because it was weirdly specific. But in the end, it didn't have an impact on the game at all. Now, the demo time wasn't a strong argument, however, the one night point is. And it's actually true, to an extent. The area where the game takes place is Boo Woods. It's extremely large and full of many dead trees. But it also appeared in other games like Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7. However, there is one thing you can see in all of them: night.
It was probably a comment on the area that is true. It's always night there, which makes sense because of the ghosts and boos that are there. So you have one for Everlasting Night to save Mario, which means they didn't really lie, however it's still really confusing. But in the end, none of these functions that would make it harder or a lot darker ended up in the game. And on the other hand, it's kind of sad that they didn't include these two possible features. The first one would have filled a safari room with something truly interesting and fitting, and the time limit would have been an interesting mechanic that could have worked out great. It worked for others, like Majora's Mask after all, so both of them could have been worked on and might have been an idea at some point. However, they never made it far. There aren't any traces of stuff like this in the files, so it's pretty much dead. But now we at least know why the people thought these things were coming, and how all of that is fake, and one huge misunderstanding. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. You lovelies can click the subscribe bell and click the bell next to the subscribe thing. And yeah, YouTube is complicated now. Be sure to watch more videos, lovelies. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope my voice wasn't as annoying as usual. Yeah, I've seen the comments. Fight me. I can't do anything about it, really.